Money May, don't worry, you're good, man. They're trying to get May in there. What? Going off in the garden today. We got Money.
Moving on to Floyd Mayweather, who had something happen to him that normally doesn't happen. Somebody actually got through his defense. His Beverly Hills home was burglarized.
Floyd Mayweather has been open to serious physical and verbal attacks since he was exposed and arrested for his fraudulent deals, especially the $400 million scam. The most prominent of the attacks were death threats and house attacks that were confirmed by his family members. So Floyd Mayweather is out in China. He's on a ridiculous trip out there, going to a bunch of cities in China. But while he was there wearing very interesting boots right there. Yeah, super interesting. While Floyd was there, one of his staffers that is in his new Beverly Hills home that he moved into after the McGregor fight in September, a $26 million home, discovered a break-in. This was after he was taken to court and convicted for several financial crimes. Aside from the lies he kept telling about his investments and properties, which he got fake documents for and would always use as collateral to get more loans, Mayweather recently partnered with a company where he was going to be giving trainings in a field he has no expertise in and selling off his old gloves and belts for a whopping sum of $20,000. While boxing fans generally took to social media to comment under his posts on how they felt about the news.
Floyd Mayweather is out in China. He's on like a ridiculous trip out there, going to a bunch of cities in China. But while he was there...
wearing very interesting boots right there.
Yeah, super interesting. While Floyd was there, one of his staffers that is in his new Beverly Hills home that he moved into after the McGregor fight in September, $26 million...
One fan said, Floyd should never be in the greatest of all-time talks anymore. For everything he did with his boxing career, he has ruined it using his personality. Another boxing follower wrote under one of Mayweather's most recent posts on Instagram, "You're an embarrassment to the sport of boxing. No wonder none of your kids can follow your footsteps." The third quipped, "Boxing legend, my foot. You're no more than an average fighter to me." While all these comments were harsh, what was crazier was the death threats Floyd Mayweather's family members got and a letter saying their home was going to be attacked.
It's all about the giveaways. I want everybody to look. Gucci bags, Louis bags, everything right here, we giving away. Of course, autographed gloves, but I'm gonna do something special.
Following his scam deals and other atrocities committed by the boxer, the victims sent mails and messages to Floyd Mayweather's account, which were made public by his family members, about them plotting to shoot him during his trial period. Another death threat was directed at his family members because they felt he was doomed to prison for the next few years. There was a particular message that promised to visit his home within a week to attack and hurt his family members. The family members put the threats on the news to ensure they were properly secured and that the public became aware.
And discovered that somebody had been in the house and stolen some of Floyd's property. We're talking luggage, sunglasses, bunch of other stuff, items that totaled more than $10,000.
$10,000, yeah.
Yeah, because we know Floyd doesn't have cheap stuff. So yeah, Floyd got hit.
Yeah, nothing to sneeze at for most people. Of course, Floyd.
Talking about physical attacks, the boxing legend recently got a feel of that at a shopping mall after exhibiting his notoriety to the frustration of many of those around. The attack came amid fears the undefeated ex-champion, nicknamed Money, was targeted over his support for Israel. A mob descended on the star and his entourage as the bling-loving king of the ring went shopping in posh Hatton Garden.
On this giveaway, what I'm gonna do is give 2 tickets away to my next exhibition in Mexico. But what I need everybody to do is follow all the instructions.
Mayweather, who was dressed in a green jacket, looked angry as he and his security were followed in the Capitol. The 47-year-old was confronted by a mob as his bodyguards bundled him out of a top jewelry store and into a waiting black 4x4. A source close to Mayweather insisted that at no point during the chaos was the fighter touched. They added, the crowd used racial slurs towards him. Mayweather has since posted on Instagram saying he wasn't punched or touched in any way, adding, What you're seeing is just my security doing their job to keep things under control.
Money, man.
I love bringing the people into my lifestyle, showing the people how I live. Now, I know you guys see me on a regular talking about real estate. Well, lately, I purchased 62 apartment buildings in New York City. And what I need you guys to do, slide over and check out the photos. It's not all 62 buildings, it's a few buildings, but guess what? All the buildings belong to me. I don't have no partners. And all the retail down low on my buildings all belong to me.
I was in the UK for a quick 48-hour stop to do some shopping. I'm perfectly fine and there's nothing more to it. One witness who declined to be named filmed the incident after it spiraled out of the store and into the street. He told reporters there were maybe about 8 to 10 people involved in going after him and about 20 or 25 watching on. Mayweather's security team was outnumbered.
Mayweather was jumped in the street as he went jewellery shopping in central London after doubling down on his support for Israel in a furious conflict about the war in Gaza. The ex-champion, who's 47, was strolling around the floor at Hatton Garden this afternoon at around 4:30 when he's said to have got into a dramatic confrontation with a number of jewellery dealers, including some who accused him of supporting genocide. What we do know is that the incident spiraled out into...
Someone said that Mayweather had been shopping when he was asked why he supported Israel. He doubled down and said he was proud to support the Jews. Then someone took a swing at him because of that. It looked very targeted. He was bundled out of the shop, but by then there were multiple people trying to hit him and pushing his security guards.
It's all about making power moves.
Yeah, I think. Yeah. And I'm pointing like this because we're in New York City right now. We're in Manhattan. That's what we do. Come on.
The eyewitness continued. Floyd took a few hits during it, but his security was trying to push people back. I couldn't really see Floyd trying to throw any punches back. His guards were just trying to get distance between him and them. They got him into a car and tapped the roof 2 times. Then it sped off. Clearly, they were desperate to get him out of there. It was over within 2 minutes. It is feared Mayweather was targeted by pro-Gaza supporters over his staunch backing of Israel. The attack came days after the boxer launched the Mayweather Israel Initiative, which he says will give every orphan in Israel a free birthday present. Mayweather has also visited the Middle East and in October branded Israel his home away from home.
But still, gotta be a little concerning if your home is broken into. Now, he's obviously not the first guy that's had his home broken into this year. It's been an epidemic. Jason Derulo, Yasiel Puig, a couple of different times. Mariah Carey, Demi Lovato, Drake, and Nicki Minaj have all gotten a hit. Before he kind of just got here, you gotta wonder what he's thinking of the LA scene.
Yeah, he's like, I'm getting back to Vegas. It's crazy because these trips are very high profile. He's out in China and he's posting pictures on his Instagram and everybody knows he's there and in the house.
In one of the videos, a man can be heard saying, "You're not going to believe this man. Money Mayweather just got punched up, bro." Mayweather appeared to be followed by a group of men as he and his security team walked towards a black car. With tensions rising, the ex-boxing champion then got into his car as they drove off amid ugly scenes. In another video, Mayweather was seen browsing in a store with expensive watches and jewelry on show. A witness said Mayweather was window shopping with his entourage. One of the most high-profile boxers in the world walks in with a bright green Louis Vuitton jacket, so he wanted to be seen. The market is predominantly Asian people. One of them shouted, "He supports genocide." And then a lot of the other jewelers got involved.
In the market shouted, "He supports genocide." People were pushing and trying to get to Mayweather and slap his head. His security guards then ran Mayweather out to the bottom of Hatton Garden and bundled him into the back of a roll.
The witness continued, "There was a massive argument going on. People were pushing, trying to get him and slap his head. All these macho men were trying to fight him. They ran him out and his security was pushing him, trying to get him away. They were getting punched. He got rushed away in his Rolls Royce. There were drinks thrown at him as he drove off. He didn't say much when he was getting accused of genocide. He was like, 'Let's get the hell out of here.' There were 20 to 30 people, and 10 to 15 of them were trying to rush him. Mayweather was one of the first major Western stars to visit Israel in the aftermath of Hamas's attacks last year, when 1,200 Israeli civilians were killed. Afterwards, the boxer was confronted by a pro-Palestinian activist during a press conference in Las Vegas to launch his new vape brand. His security team reportedly confiscated a Palestinian flag from an audience member, prompting loud chants of "Free Palestine."
People about one of my jewelers. And it's not one of my new jewelers, one of my low-key jewelers, Tony, at Pasha in Manhattan Beach, California. You guys need to come check him out. Now today, let me show you guys what I purchased from Tony. Tony, matter of fact, I don't need to tell him, you tell him.
We got a little Rose Gold Sky Dweller, chocolate dial, 40 karat pear shape, 1 carat each, tennis bracelet, only from the best of the champ.
Now when you guys come here,
During a visit last month, Mayweather joined Israel Defense Forces troops at a military base where he hosted a barbecue, and he was a guest of Netanyahu at a private meeting to discuss the history of Israel. However, aside from these dominant issues, Floyd Mayweather was also sentenced after a recent domestic violence issue he got involved in, compounding his already complicated situation and proving that he lacks character. Since his early days, Mayweather has faced multiple charges for assaulting women while rising to meteoric boxing success. Floyd Mayweather pleaded guilty to domestic violence some time ago. He pleaded guilty to 2 counts of domestic battery and 1 unrelated count of misdemeanor battery that occurred in the past. The victim was Melissa Brim, the mother of his eldest daughter, who claimed that Mayweather punched her in the face during an argument. The boxer was given a suspended 6-month jail sentence, a $3,000 fine, 48 hours of community service, and 2 days of house arrest after the incidents in question.
1,000 square foot house. It's a mansion. It's beautiful, and you know he has nice stuff in there. It's like,
You know what's something that kind of gets me about this one?
What's that?
Like, sources close to Floyd have told us that he has a state-of-the-art, alarm system. You would think of that with a $25 million house that's up there in Beverly Hills, you would.
Yeah.
Now, does that make you think that maybe, just maybe...
Are you about to say inside job?
I mean, come on now.
I knew you were.
I mean, yeah, like, if the
It's one
alarm
of them
system...
TNT guys just not getting paid enough.
A year later, Mayweather assaulted 2 women in a Las Vegas nightclub and was found guilty on 2 counts of domestic battery and given a suspended 6-month prison sentence for each assault. The women were friends of Josie Harris, the mother of 3 of Mayweather's children. They testified that the boxer punched one of them in the cheek and the other on the back of the head as she tried to help her friend off the ground. Not long after that, Mayweather was acquitted after allegedly kicking and hitting Harris outside a nightclub in Las Vegas.
Probably think he can get this back, or anyway, once again, Floyd is he's in China right now to the 4th. Hopefully he's got a house
get hit again.
Right to come back to. We know some of these guys come back to this.
Moving on, Mayweather assaulted ex-girlfriend Josie Harris. He pleaded guilty to 1 count of misdemeanor battery domestic violence and no contest to 2 counts of harassment for hitting the mother of 3 of his children the year prior. Police were called to the scene after his 10-year-old son witnessed the attack and ran from the house to alert security. Harris, before her death, said the attack left her feeling ashamed. "I was a battered woman. I felt embarrassed about saying I was a battered woman. I felt ashamed. I felt like it was my fault. What did I do? I didn't understand what a battered woman was at that time. Now I know I was in a very dysfunctional, hostile relationship and a victim of domestic violence." Despite pleading guilty to most of these charges, Mayweather has consistently evaded any negative impacts on his career.
I'm not really into hanging out with other celebrities. I've learned my lesson from that.
But you the boss, and your team respect that. I think if you can share anything with everybody that's tuned in, everybody see you and they say, all right, he has all of the money and he has to be extremely happy. But we know.
Mayweather said, "Did I kick, stomp, and beat someone? No, that didn't happen. I look in your face and say no, that didn't happen." He later said, "Did I restrain a woman that was on drugs? Yes, I did. So if they say that's domestic violence, then you know what? I'm guilty. I'm guilty of restraining someone." In Mayweather's eyes, lack of photographic evidence equates to exoneration. He has even said he should not be compared to Chris Brown or O.J. Simpson because there are no photos of his victims' injuries. Boxing has no authoritative governing body that possesses the ability to meaningfully punish or exclude Mayweather from fights. However, there is something to be said about our willingness to make a legend out of someone who has paid lawyer fees and fines for domestic violence charges with money he made from punching for a living. Harris says she suffered physical abuse from the boxer on 6 occasions. The worst came when Mayweather entered Harris's home as she slept, yanked her to the floor by her hair, then punched and kicked her in front of their children. She said victims should educate themselves and seek help, because if they don't get proper help together, the chance of it happening again is very high.
Always bring happiness,
Oh, absolutely not.
What's the biggest mistake that you've made in your life that you can share, with people?
Same mistake that all 4 of us made. Trust.
On the first occasion, the pair argued and Harris, unknown to Mayweather, called police, who arrived and advised him to leave. He did, but he returned at around 4 a.m. with an associate, James McNair. With Harris asleep on the couch, Karen, at Mayweather's insistence, let his father inside. Floyd Mayweather was sentenced to 90 days in prison for assaulting Josie Harris. Harris says she awoke with Mayweather screaming and grabbing her hair.
Trust. Every morning I get up in the mirror and I say, I say to myself, when I'm, brushing my teeth, I say, you know what? Only person I can trust, that person right there. Because we all know we can trust ourselves, but we all always know somebody else is.
She says he'd read affectionate text messages between her and NBA basketball player C.J. Watson, described in her book draft as her summer love. With McNair present, the fighter rained punches and kicks upon her. According to the statements of Harris and the children, Harris was later treated at a hospital, but she believes Quran saved her from more serious harm.
So, for an outsider, and I know that 50 Cent at that time was his friend, of course, he's gonna try and go to bat and dilute whatever it is that he could possibly do, to help the situation, but really it just makes it worse,
All right, everyone, stay tuned for the latest in boxing news, highlights, events, and stories. Subscribe to Knockout today and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. Be sure to watch our other videos too. Until next time, take care and stay safe.